So teachers often wonder, how do I design my book 2 lesson plans? Well, I do have a recipe that works quite well for me, and I will share it with you now. For about the first 10 minutes of the lesson, I love to teach exercises and scales and short preparations for new techniques. It's an exercise time of the lesson. Of course, I might be using that time to teach an exercise from step by step, certainly. But I might also be pulling from some of Kerstin's other publications. I usually teach 1 or 2 exercises from my first and my second technique book during the time the students are in book 2. I'm using those materials a lot, and usually just 1 or 2 short experiences, and that is at the beginning of the lesson. Exercises, scales, tonalization, which we'll cover a lot today. After that, I spend about 10 minutes working on music. Then the next 10 minutes of the lesson, I'm using as review time. And for me, review always has a very clear plan. I am going to hear pieces like a concert without interruption. I simply press play on my stereo, and I get to see what the students have learned and what is becoming easy for them and what skills are there. Plus, students love to play without being interrupted. They really, really love that. So I want to make sure that that's a part of every lesson. I also feel strongly that if I truly want, and I do, my students to review their music every day at home, I have to do that also in the lesson. If I'm not doing that in the lesson, that's when they start to think that they don't have to do that at home. But of course, by now, as we begin book 2, the students know so many pieces. Of course, there's not time to hear all of book 1 in every lesson, certainly not. So my general rule here as we begin book 2 is that I'm listening to the last 3 pieces from book 1. Well, let me clean that up. I usually hear a minuet, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, Happy Farmer, and Gossackavad. And I continue to hear those pieces from book 1 until the student knows quite a few pieces from book 2. I also try to give very positive feedback during this. It's not always about corrections. I might say, I really notice your sound is so strong. Or in the Gossackavad, you played with such an exact bow division. This is getting so much easier for you. I just love it. So sometimes in the review section, it can be good to let them play through and to also use a positive approach. All right, and then the final 10 minutes of a book 2 lesson with me, I use to